Alright guys, Chelsea here, and in case you haven't noticed, combined like terms are super important. So we're going to practice with them a little bit more. First, we're going to review a little bit. So you have here one a squared thing, and then you have four more a squared things, okay? 1 plus 4, how many do we have? Think of it in your head. We have 5. 5 of these a squared things, okay? 5 of them. 5a squared. That's how we say that. You're also used to this one. Okay, so we have 3 of this thing. It's called an AB, right? So we have 3 AB. And then we have 5 more of the AB. Okay, 5 more of them. So in your head, you can think of it. We have 8 AB. So we add them up. 3 plus 5. Fairly simple, right? Okay, now we're going to get a little bit more exciting, right? Ooh, we got a subtraction over there. So we have 7 of this thing. It is an a squared b. So we have 7a squared b. That's the thing. And then we're going to subtract 4 a squared b. Okay, that sounds pretty similar. I think that's the same thing, right? We have 7 a squared b. If we're going to take away 4 a squared b, if those are the same, we're going to count them up and subtract in this case. If they're different, we do nothing, as you know. So think about it in your head. And we're going to do 3. We're left with 3 of this thing, this a squared b thing. Okay, so this is actually kind of crazy looking, right? We're going to make it a little bit harder, but you just did that. So pat yourself on the back and let's go. Okay, what is this? This is an xy squared. Okay, and we're trying to add an x squared y. If you think those two things are the same, we would count them up. If you think they are different, we would do nothing at all. You tell me, think of it in your head. We do nothing at all. So those are different. Even though they've got kind of all the same stuff, it's jumbled up, right? This is an xy squared. This is an x squared y. It's not the same thing. So we're not going to, we'll leave them kind of as is, right? All right, let's check this one. We have x to the 4, y to the 7. That's our first thing, x4, y7, right? And we're going to subtract over here, x cubed, y to the 7. Okay, so x4, y to the 7 minus x to the 3, y to the 7. If those two things are the same, we count them. If they are different, we don't. You tell me, think of it in your head. They are totally different. So we've got that little difference here. This 4, not the same as that 3. And so they are not the same thing. We have 1 of this thing. We're going to subtract 1 of this totally different thing. So it just doesn't simplify. We can't really count those up, right? Okay. More practice. Okay, we have 1 of this. A squared b to the 5th, c to the 3rd. And we're trying to add 6 of this thing. A squared, b to the 5th, c to the 3rd. If you think those two things are the same, we count them up. If they are different, we do nothing. Think of it in your head, and they are the same. We are going to add them. So we have 7. We have 1 of them, and then we have 6 of them. This is so crazy. If you got that right, mega props. This is awesome. Okay, we're getting like real weird in here, right? It totally looks weird, but you totally did it. Okay, so this is our thing. A squared, b to the 5th, c to the 3rd. That's our thing there. And we counted up. We have 1 of them. We had 6 of them. We're going to count them. We have 7 of this thing now, right? It's a weird thing. Cool. All right, let's make it exciting, obviously. We have 2 a cubes, okay, a to the 3rd. We're going to try to add 1 y squared. We're also adding 4y squared. Maybe some similarities over here. And then we're going to add 4a cubed. So any things that are the same get to be added. Any things that are different, we don't add them. Think of it in your head. This one's got a couple steps. And boom, we have 6a cubed. So we had this 2a cubed over here, and then we had this 4a cubed down there, right? 2 plus 4, 6, boom. Then we have the y squareds. Okay, we have 1y squared here, and 4y squareds right there. Okay, so we have 1 of this thing, 4 of this thing, 1 plus 4 equals 5. We have 5 of that thing. Now we don't add the a cubed and the y squared together. We don't add those two things together, right? Because they're not the same. A cubed, y squared, totally different. But the other things we did. Cool. Next one, we have 2. A to the 5th. We have 2 of these, okay? A to the 5th, b squared, c to the 8th. And then we're going to try to add 4 of this thing. A to the 6th, b squared, c to the 8th. If you think those two things are the same, we will add them. If not, leave them the same. Think about it in your head. Once you have your answer. Ha ha ha. All right, so they're not the same. Why? We got this little tiny difference right here. This one's a to the 5th, b squared, c to the 8th. This one's a to the 6th, b squared, c to the 8th, okay? So totally not the same thing. They look so close to each other, so similar, but not quite. So we don't add them. And that's all for today, folks. We're going to go back to the worksheet and we're going to practice all this. Just because there's a bunch of letters and numbers doesn't mean you have to freak out. You've got this. Let's go crush it.